From the Mac of All Trades studio in Fairport and driven by Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, it's Billified, the Bill Moran Podcast.
Well, hello and welcome. Thanks for getting your pod on. Thanks for telling a friend. That's how we spread the word about the pirate ship. Danny's back. He's wearing his Michigan hat. Come on, Michigan.
Hopefully,
you should put on glasses. My glasses. You'll look like Harbaugh.
Yeah, I know. I do actually have a pair of blue blockers, black blue blockers that I could look just like. Get a whistle. Look
There
just
you
like
go.
Jimmy. Hey, hopefully he'll become the next head coach of the Buffalo Bills.
No.
No, it's not going to happen.
Stop it. Stop it. And then there's Doug Phelps, whose team is going to be taking a 2-week bye, practically.
Both
What's
teams.
going on, 2-week bye.
The Ravens and the 49ers are going to have a couple weeks off.
2-week bye.
Ravens will not be in the Super Bowl.
Now, I will say, well, your
think
lips to God's ears, because potentially right now,
Well, 2019.
if everything sort of lines up right, it could be the Bills and the Ravens in the AFC Championship
Could be.
game.
I think the Ravens could be by the Browns. Browns are very underestimated.
Well, they're
Great defensive.
yeah.
They got a healthy quarterback who's been in the Super Bowl, knows what he's doing.
And you know what? That's a good thing. I didn't think of that. I didn't even
Wouldn't
think
that be
about
something
That
if
would
Joe
be.
Flacco
Yes.
went back to the
Yes,
Super Bowl?
I would love it.
If
I
that
would love
happens,
that.
you put him in the same class as Brady and Manning because they're the only two quarterbacks
yeah,
that have done
No,
it.
but
No,
I think
you don't, but-
you,
Yeah, but-
no, but I think you actually now get
Hang on a second.
Hold on.
You know how to spell his
Can you
name
put
after
him
this?
back? Can you put him in the same class? Maybe
You
not
can't
as
put him
Brady.
in the same. You can't put him in the same class,
How
but you
about-
have to now give him consideration for the Hall of Fame. I'm not saying he's a Hall of
Well, hang
Famer.
on. Manning was. I mean, that Denver team was really good around him.
Yeah,
he didn't have any gap. He shouldn't have been playing.
No, like there was talk. Well, there was talk that week of starting Brock Osweiler.
Yes,
which sounds silly now, but that
I
week there
thought
was
that-
talk of starting Osweiler instead of Manning because Manning his arm was shot.
That injury, I thought he was going to die.
Oh, by the way, 2 weeks before, if Gostkowski hits an extra point, we're talking about the Patriots possibly winning a 7th Super Bowl. You know, people forget about that part too. But
Did you remember what your wife asked you to pick up at the grocery store?
yeah, olive oil. I forgot.
All right, see, there it is.
Role playing again, Popeye. Oh, Happy New Year to everybody! Just want to say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
How was your New Year's Eve celebration?
I
Glad
got
you
a
weren't driving.
I wasn't driving. I got a last minute DJing gig at a very nice restaurant called the Lamplighter on Fessner.
Okay.
With great food, great owner. Her name's Lisa. It's a nice little place if you're in the Greece area.
Did you make out with a random person at midnight? or
I
no?
did not.
All right.
No, you know what? I didn't even get a kiss.
You didn't even get a
all,
kiss?
All the couples. It was mainly all couples.
Yeah, right.
So
You
they
didn't
were
grab
in the
a
bar
waitress,
area.
spin 'em around?
You know what? There were a couple cute waitresses there.
well,
They
that's
left before midnight though.
All right.
Because I'm DJing in the other room, and all of a sudden,
Oh, I see.
12:30,
yeah,
and
yeah.
like, oh, you can wrap it up.
Now, I
Wait for
guarantee,
everybody to come back.
I guarantee if I ask this question, the gentleman to my left in the Michigan hat
Yeah.
will probably answer that this has happened to him.
Okay.
I don't know why. People write me all the time now and say things like, "Oh, I bet that happened to Danny."
People really?
Yes.
Their name's Kevin Muir.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Just like random listeners will send things. But Danny did that. It just makes
Play
me
a game
laugh.
called Danny
I
Do
was
This.
just thinking that.
Did you kiss someone you weren't attracted to at all at
Yes.
any New Year's Eve? No,
Yes.
New Year's Eve. On New Year's
Yes.
Eve when the ball dropped. You
2003,
did.
yes.
I knew it. God damn. you
Salingers.
remember- See, now this is the weird part. He can remember the year, but he can't remember the olive oil. I mean, I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Who can remember
Maybe
2003?
he didn't need olive oil in 2003.
So what happened?
Maybe he needed Vaseline.
You were at Salinger's 2003.
Yeah.
So 2003, I had two kids under the age of 3. Yeah. That's right.
Yes, it's just
You know why?
And number 3 wasn't on his way yet, right?
No, not for a long time after that.
Okay.
You know why, though? Olive oil.
Olive oil?
Yeah,
That's a good one.
olive oil. Well, what happened was, I from what I remember, it was just like we were both single, and I don't know, there was nobody to kiss, and I guess like she kissed me. I'm like, okay, sure.
Did you start making out with her, or just?
It was about I guess 15 seconds.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
That's not bad.
So yeah,
Have you ever ended up in a relationship? You kissed someone at New Year's Eve, and then from that it becomes like a relationship. That never happened.
no,
Okay.
no.
Doug?
No.
No. Not a stripper named Bambi Ginger.
Never worked on New Year's Eve at a strip club.
No?
They're closed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, sure.
Yeah.
Because most people are.
Because they're out partying.
Yeah.
They got private parties or whatever they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Popping out of cakes.
Yeah.
Baby New Year.
The classic cat closes at 7 on Christmas Eve.
Oh, really?
Yes.
7 on Christmas Eve?
Yeah, a lot of bars are open.
Yeah.
Up till 6, 7 o'clock. I think Romegs is open till close.
What is?
Romegs on Bennington?
Oh, it's just a bar.
Yeah.
Not a strip bar.
Very famous bar.
Yeah.
It was packed with Kodakers years ago, and it's
Well, nothing's
going.
packed with Kodakers anymore.
Not anymore, not even
unfortunately.
Kodak.
Not even. Yeah. Never mind. I was gonna. I'll sit on that awful line that was about to pop out of my mouth. Anybody? Did you stay true? Did you make any resolutions for 2023? Not this year, 2023. Any resolutions, goals, anything you wanted for 2023?
that I kept. No.
Yeah. But did you make any?
Oh yeah, I think
Yeah.
losing weight. I'm
Okay.
down 8 pounds. Big whoop.
All right.
So
That's called a big shit.
right. It's called Taco Bell at 3 in the morning.
It's called Tuesday morning.
Did you?
I think
No.
the resolution was to golf more.
Yeah. Did you?
Yes. I
All
did.
right, then there you go. Yeah, you know what? Danny did impress me. Danny wanted to read, what was it, 12 books?
And I did.
And he read 12 books this year. I think that's
Were
impressive.
they all Dr. Seuss? I saw your
They were
books
the
in front of-
Twilight series.
Yeah. One fish, two fish,
Red fish,
blue
blue
hat, Michigan. Antlers in the Ceiling by Hugo Samus.
fish. Now, is anybody doing dry January?
I didn't know there was dry September, right?
I've heard of dry February.
What?
I've heard of dry January.
Wait, whoa. I've never heard of dry September.
I thought that was a thing.
Not that I've known.
What
I'll
month
tell you
is it? It's No Shave November
Yes.
to advocate prostate cancer for
Right,
men.
right. So you look hairy like your asshole. I guess.
Right,
I
yeah,
don't,
right,
I don't
it's
get.
no.
I don't get the reference.
yeah,
there.
I don't get it either.
But I did it once. I did grow a beard.
Yes, I did a few years
You
ago.
did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. After us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dry January. No, yeah. It's
Sans
probably not going to
CMF.
happen.
Well, dry January started in 2013, and it was pushed, and a lot of
I remember talking about this. We were talking
yeah,
about this.
we were talking
'Cause
about
somebody,
it.
a co-host of ours was like trying it. He started drying out. Remember?
You take the
Buddy,
entire
he's in a
month.
mood. He's trying out.
Initially, I think 4,300 people. I don't know if this was on, I would assume some website or something, took the initial pledge.
Is this like
to
a
not
last
drink.
man standing kind of thing?
I don't know. Because I say I would do, like, I was with my buddies over on New Year's Eve, and we were talking about maybe doing damp January. Or it would be dry January. It would wine on weekends count.
If I'm not getting laid, I'm whining all the time. But
Oh.
the Niners are in the playoffs, so I know there's going to be a couple Sundays I'll be drinking.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, look, I think
not
it's-
heavy, but maybe.
No, but I think it's a good time to maybe reset yourself. You realize, I mean,
Detoxify.
yeah, people get fatty liver and stuff, and that's not just from alcohol, but fatty liver. I always worry. I thought I woke up after New Year's Eve, and I think one of my kids said that, "Dad's hammered. Don't talk to him," because I FaceTimed and I was fine, but the next
You think you're fine?
well, I felt like I didn't really have a hangover or anything. But the
Hey,
next day I looked.
what's that blinking light?
I felt like I looked like yellow, like the M and Danny's
man.
hat. I'm like, did I get jaundice?
Was it worse than when we went out to the pub that night? When you got
longer,
Uber back?
longer,
Okay.
yeah, longer.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe worse. I don't know. I don't think so. But
Kind
they,
of equal, but okay, I
yeah,
get
kind of
you.
equal. They say if you do this, medical professionals say you get better sleep. I would admit, I think that's true. I
Yes.
think alcohol does disrupt your sleep.
There's no benefit from alcohol. They've decided.
All right, Danny. Yes,
Hooking
there is.
up there is.
Let me
I
tell
mean,
you what
there's
let me
plenty.
tell you what it is. I look better. She looks
Right. I never went to bed with an
I-
ugly woman.
I will say that-
I woke up with a whole bunch of them. But
I think William Shakespeare used to say it was the poison that robs your brain. I'm paraphrasing here, but he would never drink because it steals from you. And
Donald Trump has never done
Yeah,
it.
I saw
Yeah,
that
no,
today.
Trump
He's
never-
never had a drink.
Yep.
well, his dad was a raging alcoholic.
So is his older brother.
oh, maybe that's what I
Yeah.
meant. Maybe that's what.
My older brother told me, Johnny, don't do it. Don't drink. I've never drunk. I've never smoked. And I've been offered the best alcohol, the best cigarettes. Don't do it.
I'm more of a meteorologist. I like it stormy.
It gives your organs a break from processing and breaking down alcohol, and metabolic health can see improvement as well as blood pressure, weight, and insulin resistance. You're less likely to keep drinking. Yeah, there are times where I drink, and I know like I could, if I know I'm going to Uber. Well, I am going to Uber, but if I know it's just going to be, I can feel it. I can't stop. I get to a point where I can't stop.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
That's after the first one.
No,
If I'm not drinking all night, I'm not drinking. I don't like.
but-
this is so refreshing.
yeah, but
no,
I've
sound
sat
like
down
Nikki
at
Sixx.
I've sat down at home and had a glass of wine, and that was it. You've never done that?
no,
Never just had a glass?
no
'Cause-
one.
Yeah, I've done that.
See, one glass of alcohol, I've been told, traditionally, if you're like, a little, if you need to calm down, one glass is good. But if you have 2 glasses, then your heart rate goes back up.
good.
Stress goes back up.
Who told you this?
Health teacher,
Oh, all right.
Mr. Joe Hengen,
He
told me
lied.
this.
He lied. No, but I can tell. I think at one point, even on New Year's Eve, somebody was leaving and they had half a beer. I go, I'm finishing that.
Those days are done. That's when you're young. Alcohol abuse, wasting alcohol.
I remember being at a homecoming party.
No, it was
my
just
ju-
there. I was hardly touched. I was still thirsty, so I kept drinking.
My junior year, and I was the designated driver. I didn't drink in high school or college and until my senior year. And I remember a kid, they ran out of alcohol, and like 6 o'clock in the morning, he's going around to the empties and trying to pour each empty
That's terrible.
into a cup and drinking
God.
the remainder of it because he wanted to drink so bad. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Speaking of drinking, did you happen to see who passed away last week? The owner of Marge's?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Fran.
Oh,
and
jeez.
Great little place over there.
Sorry about hear that. I didn't know that.
Fran was her daughter's been running it, I believe now, and Fran was a fixture there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would always see Fran. I used to love
Smallest
to mess with
bathroom
Fran.
in Rochester.
Smallest bathroom in Rochester. She always sat at the stool. She would check IDs, usually on Friday, Saturday nights. I would go there. You know where I went there a lot, often? There was a stretch of time I went there a lot in the winter, which sounds weird.
No, not really.
Because they were open, and the person I was seeing at the time lived down that way. And they had the inflatable instruments, and I might get drunk, and all of a sudden the guitar solo would break out.
Take those old records on the shelf.
Yeah, yes.
They had the piano and they had the
Yeah.
45 jukebox.
Yeah, they had the 45 jukebox. That's right. Yeah, and that is too bad. That I saw a lot of people posting pictures where
Yeah.
Tommy Burnett had one, and then
Yeah.
a bunch of others. I think a guy who probably had. I don't know if he had a bad. Well, he had a bad New Year's Eve. He's had a bad stretch towards the end of 2023. That would be David Tepper. David Tepper is a billionaire, and he owns the Carolina Panthers. No, he owns them.
Yeah.
There's a lot celebrating over at the bank, but there was one person who really did not respond well to the Panthers' loss yesterday. And that would be this person, the Panthers owner, David Tepper, throwing a drink on a Jags fan from his booth. Right now, it's unknown exactly what prompted the action, what the two said to each other. Maybe he was mad at the Panthers' offense. The person who took the video said the Jags security, though, did ask them for that video. Now, the Panthers and Jags have not responded to a request for comment at this time, and we're still waiting to see if there's any, repercussions for
There's
this
a lot
action.
going on in that video.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack.
What's going on with the there's a
Now, these
couple
are-
of ladies
this
there
is a
wearing
Florida
crowns. Maybe that's
newscast,
New Year's
like the
celebration.
Coast.
She Queen of Duval right there. And then you
she's-
got this guy about to climb into the owner's suite.
She could be the queen. I love watching all of this unfold. I kind of wish he'd gotten into the suite. I want to see
that
the
would've
next
been-
step.
That's what
that
we
would've been
need to hear.
From
Just to see what- just to
newscasters.
see the next
Right,
step.
that's what I want
Imagine
to
a
see. A
billionaire
fight
has good
break out.
security.
This is
Go to
it.
YouTube and type in fighting. You'll get all you want.
It'd be cool if like they brought in the weather guy to go to the telestrator and draw exactly what's happening during this video, like Madden used to.
That-
All right, so here's the problem. Here's what you're gonna see. You're gonna see the owner get upset with this guy over here. He's gonna try to climb into the booth and then he's gonna throw his drink out.
Your Trump is better than your
Yeah, you're
Madden.
right. My Madden's terrible,
That's okay.
yeah.
Yeah, you got to work on that for 2000.
Yeah, I can't do Madden.
Tepper.
Try it now. Go ahead.
I've tried it.
Okay,
I'm not good at it.
okay,
But I
can't do
don't
it.
use enough. Yeah.
So-
Christopher Walken, but
Uh,
Bill, it's crazy. This owner throws a drink on someone, and you're like, "Wow, what's your problem, man? You just first
Now-
down and 10."
Now, Danny, what do you think is going to happen? Because, look, this isn't as bad as the previous owner, Jerry Richardson, and the sexual harassment complaints that were against him. There were a lot, and I think that's part of the reason.
A ton of sexual harassment
Yes.
claims to let's put it this way. I mean, you just fired. Okay, so you just saw Dan Snyder finally get his comeuppance, and he sold the team.
Yes.
But at the same time, he's not going to have any repercussions. He made billions of dollars off that sale,
Sure
right?
he did. Well,
With Tepper, he'll probably be fined. He might be like suspended from going to games for maybe a month, but I don't think they're going to rip the team out of his hands.
I really don't think
he's been involved in the NFL a while. Like he and Jimmy Haslam. Jimmy Haslam's a son of a pup too. He used to rip people off at the Flying J big time. He still owns the Browns. Okay, both of them worked under the Rooney family. They were together. They're co-owners, like minority owners. And the story in Pittsburgh, I guess, is that even though the Rooneys are very likable, they're very hands-on, but you never hear about it. And Tepper wants to be, and Haslam want to be as hands-on as the Rooneys, except they let the world know about it. And Tepper is just a nut. He fired Frank Reich. He insisted they draft Bryce Young. They traded up. I mean, the guy's made bad decision after bad decision.
I thought I had read differently. I thought part of the reason Frank Reich, and I believe tomorrow is the comeback game with Frank Reich as the quarterback.
30 years
ago. So Frank Reich,
the game that every Buffalo Bills fan was at,
200,000 fans.
Nobody left the building, and so many people were climbing over. They had to unlock the doors and let everybody. But everybody I've ever talked to never left.
And by the way, that game was blacked out, so we know it wasn't even sold out.
Right.
So, but Frank Reich, from what I understood, was he wanted Bryce Young. Tepper wanted C.J. Stroud.
Okay.
And because C.J. Stroud was doing so well and Bryce Young was not, that's part of the reason Frank got fired.
Okay, maybe that is.
I thought I read that.
I thought I read the other way around, but maybe you're right. You're right.
And it went a little crazy. It seemed to make more sense if it was that he wanted C.J. Stroud and Frank didn't. But the other thing that I think was it Bryce Young just threw what was his fourth interception of the game?
It was bad,
and that's when they scored no points. They're dead last in the NFL, and then this fan stands up and starts mouthing. And you got to think, as a leader, you've got to be. You just can't be the leader. You have to all the time. That's a bad leader. Yeah. That's just a bad leader. But at the same time, fans can get a little crude, and I did appreciate it. I did appreciate.
Did you see the video of the Buffalo Bills guy jumping on the table? In gasoline, the fire was on table. The table was on fire, and then he was on fire and didn't break the table, and two more people jumped on.
That's one thing I hope when the new stadium goes away is the table stuff.
No, are you kidding me?
It'll never go away.
They're gonna break it in. They're gonna have a.
It's so silly. It's ridiculous.
They're even selling right now a Golisano to benefit Golisano Children's Hospital. The Bills sweatshirt, and on the back, it's all drawn by kids.
Dave Portnoy.
Dave Portnoy from Barstool had done a video on it, and he was. But it's all the things on the sweatshirt are drawn by kids, and on the back it's a table breaking. So I mean, it's just become part of the lore.
Right. Look at
Van Bortle. I mean, they like Kitty Van Bortle jumping through tables.
Is that really her? You think?
No, it is not.
I know.
It's your mom.
Hey. She was a stunt double back in the day for the Lone Ranger.
Did you ever have a drink thrown on you? Since Tepper threw a drink at a fan, did you ever have a drink thrown on you, or ever throw a drink at someone? I mean, as a bartender, you ever just get sick and fuck off? That would be awful, actually.
I think so.
Local bartender Doug Phelps was arrested.
Somebody tried to, and I saw it coming and knocked it into her or something. Or
she was going to throw it at you?
I can't remember. Those days are hazy.
You Dikembe Mutombo'd her?
No. In the bar, out of the bar.
Now, I have had a drink thrown at me.
Wow, okay.
More than once, and I have thrown a drink at somebody.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
That's like it's on. Once that happens, there's a fight breaking out.
That was bad.
I had an ex-wife throw her pocketbook or wallet at me, but never a drink.
Never a drink.
No.
Well, that's why? Because you're healthier.
You know what I was thinking? It wasn't New Year's Eve, but when I was at the Blue Room managing, I was outside making out with this woman, and this guy came out and tried to pull her away. I go, "Hey, what's the problem?" And he goes, "This is my wife." I'm like, oh, that's a good reason for a problem.
Here's some chips. Drink chips.
That was like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Good fun times.
So what does happen to David Tepper? I don't think much of anything.
Not really
it's
much.
His house.
I mean, let's put it this way: it took forever to get Daniel Snyder out. The other thing too is that these owners are starting to dig dirt on each other. And I don't know if you heard the John Gruden story yet, but John Gruden, they offered Gruden a deal, and he said no.
Yeah, he did.
And he's going to burn the NFL to the ground and expose everybody.
Well, so he says.
So he said, yeah, but you know what, though? I can totally see John Gruden doing that. So I don't think anything's going to happen to this dude.
All right, so David Tepper throws the drink. Take me through the Panthers and where they are. they traded the number 1 pick for
Yeah,
this
they don't have
season,
the number 1 pick next year.
even though they would have it
would
because
have.
they're the dead last in the NFL.
Yeah.
So they don't get that. It got traded away already.
Chicago has that pick.
So where will they land? Will they be in the top 10?
I don't know if they have a first-round pick next
Okay,
year.
that's just it. So now
That's like the worst
David
place to
Tepper
be.
Here last, you spent all this money on the team.
They're worse than Billy. They're
You
worse.
shouldn't go to the games then.
They're
You just
worse.
gotta
Like
wait.
there's a guy named Bob Omen. He owns the Newark Pilots. He owns the old Omen Theater in Lyons, and he owned St. Lawrence Homes in the Raleigh and Charlotte area. He's got season tickets to the Panthers still to this day, and he lives in Lyons. And he sends me texts every day about how much he hates David Tepper and all the news that comes out about this
Really?
guy. Oh, he's not well liked at all by anybody. But that being said,
Was a billionaire bully. I mean, like,
Yeah.
when you're that rich, there's really not much anybody can do to you short of you murdering somebody. And even
Right.
then, you might be able to get away with it.
right.
in
Well,
certain-
these guys have so much money that they could put this on. Like look at Snyder in Washington. He stole money from owners, and finally, he said, "All right, I'll get out."
That's when they,
Yeah, I mean, they did so much investigation on him for all the stupid things that happened in Washington. It's going to take a lot to get Tepper out. But I'll tell you what, this Carolina Panthers job is actually worse than what the Bills job was during the drought when they were hiring guys like Chan Gailey.
All right, we will take a moment. When we come back, the Kodak Center making national news after the tragedy that happened out there. They've released the names of the people who have perished in the fire in the Mitsubishi.
Yeah.
But
And there's the EMT is hospitalized too. I don't know if you heard about this.
That was with an Uber ride, right?
no.
I'm almost sure.
Wait,
Yes,
it was?
the driver the driver rented an Uber.
What
Sorry,
driver?
I'm sorry.
The driver of the car, he went to the hospital. The other two passed, but he was Ubering them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. I didn't know that. Well, we're going to talk to Jeffrey Rogers. Jeffrey Rogers is a 21. Do you know Jeffrey?
I don't know him personally.
Yeah.
I've followed his work through
Yeah.
this. He's been covering it.
He has done a phenomenal job with this. Jeffrey is 21 years old. He goes to MCC. He's been doing his own GSL news for the past decade, and he does a really, really great job. And I think he was, you know how, I don't think anymore being first matters. I think being accurate matters.
Yeah.
And I think if you do a better, everybody getting there, all the information. It used to be a thing in radio, if some artist was coming around, hey, you better get him first.
First.
But
we
my
found
thing
out
would
that
always
was
be,
never the case.
if you just did the better interview, right? If you just did a better interview. But this kid was first with a lot of the information in this one. I mean, he was there first. And I'll read the tweet I woke up to purely by accident. And I go, who is this? And then I went and I called him today, and he's going to come on, and we'll talk to him next. But first,
Yeah, they've